The Trial. The night had not yet passed when Jesus was led away from the garden. The torches still burned as they moved through the quiet streets, their light flickering against the walls of the city. The one who had stood alone in the garden was now bound and led away to face those who had long sought a way to silence him. He was first taken to Annas, the former high priest. There, in the shadows of the night, Annas questioned Jesus about his disciples and his teaching. Jesus replied, "I have spoken openly to the world. I always taught in synagogues or at the temple, where all the Jews come together. I said nothing in secret. Why question me? Ask those who heard me. Surely they know what I said." When Jesus said this, one of the officials nearby struck him in the face, saying, "Is this the way you answer the high priest?" Then Jesus answered, "If I said something wrong, testify as to what is wrong. But if I spoke the truth, why did you strike me?" Then Annas sent him, still bound, to Caiaphas the high priest. There, the chief priests, elders, and teachers of the law had gathered. The hearing was hurried and held in the darkness of night, which was very irregular, especially when false witnesses were brought in. However, the false witnesses' statements did not agree. But finally, 2 men came forward and declared, "This fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and rebuild it in 3 days." Then the high priest stood up and said to Jesus, "Are you not going to answer? What is this testimony that these men are bringing against you?" But Jesus remained silent. Then the high priest said to him, "I charge you under oath by the living God, tell us if you are the Messiah, the Son of God." Jesus replied, "You have said so, but I say to all of you, from now on you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven." At this, the high priest tore his clothes and said, "He has spoken blasphemy. Why do we need any more witnesses? Look, now you have heard the blasphemy. What do you think?" "He is worthy of death," they answered. Then they spat in his face and struck him with their fists. Others slapped him and said, "Prophesy to us, Messiah. Who hit you?" Outside, in the courtyard, Peter was sitting among those who had gathered around a fire. A servant girl came to him and said, "You also were with Jesus of Galilee." But he denied it before them all. "I don't know what you're talking about." Then he went out to the gateway, where another servant girl saw him and said to the people there, "This fellow was with Jesus of Nazareth." But Peter denied it again, this time with an oath, "I don't know the man." After a little while, those standing there went up to Peter and said, "Surely you are one of them, your accent gives you away." Then he began to call down curses, and he swore to them, "I don't know the man." Immediately, a rooster crowed, and Jesus turned and looked straight at Peter. Then Peter remembered the word the Lord had spoken to him, "Before the rooster crows today, you will disown me 3 times." And he went outside and wept bitterly. At daybreak, the council of the elders of the people, both the chief priests and the teachers of the law, met together, and Jesus was led before them. "If you are the Messiah," they said, "tell us." Jesus answered, "If I tell you, you will not believe me, and if I asked you, you would not answer. But from now on, the Son of Man will be seated at the right hand of the mighty God." Jesus was then asked, "Are you then the Son of God?" And he replied, "You say that I am." Then they drew their conclusion. "Why do we need any more testimony? We have heard it from his own lips." Then they bound him and led him away through the streets of Jerusalem to the residence of Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor. When Judas, who had betrayed him, saw that Jesus was condemned, he was seized with remorse. He went back to the chief priests and the elders to return the 30 pieces of silver. "I have sinned, for I have betrayed innocent blood." They simply replied, "What is that to us? That's your responsibility." So Judas threw the money into the temple and left. Then he went away and took his own life. Meanwhile, Jesus stood before the Roman governor Pontius Pilate, who asked, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus simply replied, "You have said so." Then the chief priests and elders arrived to deliver their accusations against Jesus. After they had finished, Pilate asked him, "Don't you hear the testimony they are bringing against you?" But Jesus remained silent, offering no reply to any charge, and the governor was greatly amazed. The one who had taught in the temple, healed the sick, and spoken words of life now stood accused, rejected, and alone before the rulers of this world. Yet even here, nothing was out of place. Everything was unfolding according to the purpose of God. For what seemed like defeat was, in truth, the beginning of fulfillment. The trial in the golden thread. Truth stands without defense. Jesus did not argue, defend, or resist. He stood in calm, quiet strength, showing that truth need not fight to be heard. Human power cannot override God's purpose. Though rulers question, accuse, and judge, they are not in control of the outcome. What is happening is not chaos, it is part of a greater plan, and we need to remember that today. Silence can be stronger than words. Jesus' silence was not weakness. It revealed confidence, trust, and complete submission to the will of God. The innocent bears the weight of the guilty. The one who healed, taught, and gave life stood condemned. In that moment, we see the beginning of the price being paid for others. God's purpose moves forward, even in injustice. What appears to be rejection and defeat is actually the path to fulfillment. God's plan is not stopped by human decisions, it moves through them. If you found this video interesting and would like to explore more, we have several options for you. One is our free, multilingual, Bible-based Christianity course, a free 30-lesson video course covering all aspects of the Bible and daily life. Another is the Bible by Stories, a series of over 50 videos that takes you on a journey from creation to the early church. And if you have questions about Scripture, there is a multilingual chat system on the website where you can ask any question on scriptural issues. To access any of them, simply visit the website listed below. If we don't yet have videos or the course in your language, please email us at the address shown, telling us what you are interested in and your language, and we will do our best to create them for you. God bless you on your walk to His kingdom.